Good evening, everybody in Siege Land. I hope you're getting ready for a great Siege weekend. It's wonderful to return to our usual Siege dates, the first full weekend of October. I'm sorry you can't see me, but you're going to see some beautiful artwork from Coalescence, the first game we're going to check out this evening. So, this is part of the Silv-E Awards. They are competing for more than $1,500 in awards for a variety of categories. The two that are competing tonight are also competing for the best student games at Siege. We're very interested in your feedback on them and your thoughts. For those of you who don't know about Siege, Siege is the Southern Interactive Entertainment and Game Expo happening this weekend in Atlanta. Friday and Saturday it is online with a great series of sessions on all aspects of game development, programming, art, the business side. Yeah, just some incredible sessions going on. Very happy to have the team from Oxide Games coming out with some great products right now. Talk about diversity in design, how to actually design intelligently when you're trying to create games that reflect the entire world. Another one we want to highlight, that's our Saturday keynote. Another one we want to highlight is Friday at 5 p.m. Yeah, we've got Tencent. You all know who Tencent is, or else you're in the wrong industry. One Up Funds and Tripwire Interactive coming together to talk about how developers can get funding for their games. Really recommend that for all the indies out there. In fact, we divide this up into a number of different sections this Siege. On Friday, it's kind of more advanced topics, like the funding topics, like building bloodthirsty nation AI, all those sorts of fun things. And then Saturday is more the intro level, breaking in, though there's definitely some information there for you veteran devs. We're going to have a couple speaker changes. I'm sorry that we've had to lose Sandy Chamberlain from our character design workshop, but she's brought in a great team of artists and designers to walk us through that. That'll be a good one. Oh, Wonder J, you don't want to see me. You are in luck tonight. You can see my Coalescence. And what was the other one that we had a change on? I shouldn't have let Wonder J distract me. Gosh darn it, Wonder J, you're too darn distracting. Let's see. I'm sure we have other changes that I will mention in chat. And remember to come out Sunday to see all the rest of the Silv-E games. Come out for networking, come out for portfolio review, either review portfolios or review them for the students. And really, it's the networking we're all coming out for. And Shannon's Gaming. That's right. Shannon is back with all of his incredible board game collections. So make sure to come out for that. And we'll want your votes for the Audience Choice Awards. All the folks who have booths at Siege will be competing for the best booth award that the audience gets to vote for. So make sure that you are out there. If you're a GGDA member, it is free, food and drink included. If you're not a GGDA member, it's $20, food and drink included. And it'll be an amazing day of activities going from noon to 6 p.m. You remember last year, it was a blast, it was inspiring, and everybody went out and started making more games right after. And that's exactly the effect we're going for this time. But today, we're going to go for some Coalescence, some Guardian, and some Metacell. If you have any questions in the chat for the developers, ask them and I will relay them. But otherwise, I'm going to let the developers take it away. So, developers, why don't you introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about Coalescence, and as you play the game, talk a little bit about the development process and the tools that you have used. With that, Coalescence, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Awesome, fantastic. Thank you very much, Andrew. My name is Quayne Holtai. I was the producer and lead narrative on Coalescence. As Andrew talked about, this is a student game. We are working with Select Games and Black Banshee Studios, which is a student-based studio for Full Sail University. So we're going to get started on Coalescence. As you can see, we have 3 characters to choose from. We're going to go ahead and do the detective and start out a little bit of gameplay for the detective. So Coalescence is a visual novel with a very obvious noir aesthetic. It was made using a game engine called RenPy, specifically RenPy 7. RenPy is based off of Python code. So a lot of it is its own language, kind of adopted from Python. RenPy 7 that we used here specifically draws from Python 2.7. All of the art, all of the audio that you see, and obviously all the narrative was created by us over at Selleck Black Banshee. Yeah. There's a couple of really cool things that we can talk about. A lot of this is based in RenPy, so like our settings screen with volume, sound, and voice channels. There's no voice acting in Coalescence. But then some of these screens are not default RenPy screens. For instance, we built out our relationships screen. So when you meet a new character, you can see them in your relationship tab. They have a little biography. And then you have relationship points that are tracked based off of how you interact with the character. We also have journal entries. So at the beginning, we chose to speak with this character. His name is Robert. And so therefore, our journal was updated with that. And then we have collectibles, which we haven't found a collectible yet. But we have several different artworks for collectibles. Coalescence is based off of a game jam that we did in studio. That game jam ended up creating a game called Descent, which is also on Steam. And that production process went well enough that we were okay to make a longer game. And that's how Coalescence was born. So Coalescence is kind of the sequel to Descent. It is a lot longer than Descent. With 3 different characters. And the idea is that each character lives the events of the same night, which is a party that happens at the Mysterious Moniker Labs. But they experience things differently. They interact with different characters, and their endings are vastly different from one another. You can hear some sound effects in the game. That's one of our big pride things is that we had a lot of sound effects that we were able to put into the game. I'm not entirely sure how many, but it's definitely in the hundreds. We were able to get a bunch of unique sound effects, characters walking, cell phones ringing, doors opening and closing. We also have our own soundtrack. We have, I believe, 7 songs in our soundtrack, which was very exciting. In terms of the game's development, there were a couple of things that we learned throughout the development of the game. RenPy is a dynamically typed engine. So what that means is that it reads its code from top to bottom. And that presented a couple of challenges for us in terms of making modular systems like our game menus, like for our collectibles and our relationship trackers. We also quickly discovered that we didn't treat QA with enough respect in the beginning of the production. We didn't really have a solid QA team at the beginning, and that really led to a lot of pain points toward the middle and end of the production for Coalescence that we're really looking to improve on in our next game that takes place in the RenPy engine. So we'll talk with Kyle here, and we should get our first collectible. So these are your collectibles. So when you unlock a new collectible, you can check it out, get a little blurb of the collectible, and a little hint as to what's to come in the rest of the game. Another thing that we learned throughout the development of Coalescence is to be conscientious of inbound and outbound talent. So as a student-run, student-led studio, as people graduate, they leave us in terms of the studio, and as people come into the program, they join us. And and that can lead to a lot of people graduating and not a whole lot of people coming in, or vice versa. And that can lead to, as it did for Coalescence, inaccurate capacity plans. We definitely felt that toward the middle to end of the production for Coalescence. A lot of talent ended up leaving us because of graduating, and then not a whole lot came in to replace them right away. So the last 25% of Coalescence's production was a bit harder on our team in terms of capacity and what everybody was able to do and how much of the game we still had to finish. The original concept for the game, like most visual novels, was a kind of dating sim. It had dating sim elements in which you could romance a character by the end of the game. However, during production of Coalescence, with our talent kind of coming in and out and the game design changing, as we wrote the first character, we realized that we were more focused on the noir aspects and sort of the twist endings of the game, and less about being able to romance the characters. So we adopted the relationship meter that we had planned from the beginning and kind of adapted it into some things that happen later on that I won't get into because otherwise we'll be spoiling some stuff. But it isn't as in-depth as like a full-blown relationship dating simulator would be. So now that we've met a couple of characters, we can go in here. We can see that the choices that we made in our dialogue with them resulted in certain relationship points. So Robert's at 0. Jarf we haven't had any contact with yet. And for Kyle, we had a net negative relationship point. Or not net negative. No relationship value was added, I should say. A wonderful thing about Coalescence that is on Steam now for free if you're interested in picking it up and learning kind of the secrets of Moniker Labs. We have a Mac build planned. It was going to be a synchronous release, but one other thing that we learned is that we need to submit Steam builds early so that if Steam ends up having any sort of contention with the Steam page or with the build itself, we can get that stuff taken care of and release as scheduled, as originally scheduled. At our studio faculty, there are several faculty members who act as executive producers of the studio. So they're the ones who eventually okay projects and allow us to work within the studio ourselves with providing us feedback and providing some executive leadership and recommendations. And one of those recommendations was for all of our characters to have blinking animations alongside their facial expressions. And it adds a lot to the game. We weren't able to create super unique character poses, so we were able to provide the life to the characters by giving them different facial expressions and giving that movement to their blinking and their facial animations. Coalescence was a fairly large project for the studio in terms of how many backgrounds, how many sound effects, the music, and especially how much narrative needed to be written. As a result, our credits list involves almost everyone in the studio who worked on the game at some point or another. We have several games running throughout the studio at any given moment. And we're able to allocate resources across each project as needed. So all of our narrative designers ended up working on Coalescence at some point or another. Several of our designers worked on Coalescence as level designers, which was super fun. Something that we learned from Descent is that creating entirely original backgrounds was going to take way too long. And so we were able to plan for the design team to come in and actually box out these individual backgrounds and rooms that we had planned with assets and block them out inside of Unreal Engine, and then take screen captures of the different areas and allow art to go through and paint over them, provide different shading, which allowed us to create some really interesting I'm not entirely sure what to call them, multi-perspectives of different rooms, which come into play especially later on. Fun elevator music. It's one of my favorite tracks of the game. And at this point, we've kind of met most of the characters that we're going to be interacting with during this playthrough. And coming up these stairs, we end up finding the first incident inside of Moniker Labs, which is the dead body of one of the characters that we uncovered before. And they have this blue blood that's leaking out of their ear. And it starts raising a couple of questions. And Jarf just ran off the screen to vomit over the railings. So as the detective, we're able to kind of examine different parts of their body and see, whether they have broken bones, maybe how long they've been deceased, and try and find some sort of cause of death, maybe see if we can find a motive. As you can see, the blue blood coming out of the ear. There aren't very many collectibles that utilize color. There's not a whole lot of color in the game, so we tried to make it as eye-popping and influential as possible when it does happen. So the idea of color the idea of blue blood coming out of the ear becomes a recurring theme throughout the 3 different playthroughs, and it's something that is very vital to the story and sort of the twist that happens toward the end of the game. Yeah.
All right, lots of cool stuff. If you have more questions in chat, ask them, especially if you want to see more of this. We're going to go ahead and start asking some of your questions now. A lot of comments on the art, people really enjoying it, enjoying the blinking and the transitions that you incorporated. I was particularly amused by your use of the Unreal Engine for this. I'd love to see you promote this on Steam as made with the Unreal Engine and see what responses you got. One of the main questions we got was, other than keeping a student team running over all this time, what was the most difficult aspect of game development for you?
Ooh, the most difficult aspect of game development on this project, especially as the producer, was the challenges that we faced with the QA process. Like I said, our QA team wasn't very defined at the beginning of the project, and our processes weren't well defined, which led us to trying to define those processes in the middle of the development, which led to a lot of headache and creating checklists, that weren't as encompassing or as well documented as we wanted them to be. And then once they were well documented, they didn't lend themselves to being living documents. The way that QA was treated throughout development was very much in line of a waterfall methodology, where the idea was to bring them on later to fix all the bugs, and that was not a good plan, and we definitely felt the payback for it.
Yeah, games often, no matter how much you want to stick with a waterfall methodology, they'll go to modified waterfall pretty quickly because you just want to keep making changes.
Yeah.
Lantertronics, who has some great game dev videos on YouTube, says, great work, folks. So this game is out on Steam. How long have you been on Steam now?
The game released on September 30th, so it's been a few days. It released last Friday.
Excellent, excellent. You got any feedback there yet?
We've gotten a couple of reviews. One of them, there's somebody who reviewed Descent as well, was an annoying crow was their Steam username, so a lot of it's just, game is great, caw, which is always very amusing to look at. The only other review was also positive. It said that it was a little weird. Some of the dialogue choices and the humor can be a little weird and sporadic, but it kind of gives the game a little bit of its charm. And that's definitely the feel that we were going for, is that the characters are a little goofy and a little weird, but in an endearing way. So, if it's what we're going for and it's what they noticed, then I think we did a good job.
Excellent. All right, last chance to ask more questions in chat. The other one I've got was, there is a very active interactive fiction community on Steam. Have you been able to interact with them to help promote, give you feedback, etc.?
No, but that's a wonderful idea that I'm going to notate real fast.
Yeah,
to get them involved.
We're putting on a Twine workshop Saturday evening, which is specifically for folks who want to do interactive. Well, I shouldn't say specifically, mostly for folks who want to do interactive fiction. So, fascinating seeing this tool usage for us. Not a tool I've used personally.
Yeah, Twine is. I've made a couple of games in Twine. Ren'Py is definitely like a step almost between Twine and like Unity, in terms of like having to like write the code and stuff. But it's definitely closer. It's definitely closer to like Ink or Twine than it is to Unity for sure.
All right. Okay, everyone, we're going to take a short break and bring up Guardian. We'll be back in a minute. And we are back with Guardian. Again, let's get your feedback, your input. Again, they're competing for the Silv-E Awards and the money that goes with it. So, Team Guardian, tell us about the development of this game.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Edwin Nieves. I am the lead producer out of Acelic Games and Black Banshee Studio. So I was actually the lead producer over Coalescence as well as Guardian when it released. Just to touch on a quick question before at the end, we don't necessarily interact with feedback provided through the Steam releases. However, we do monitor them. They are important to us, so we like to take some of that consideration. And a lot of that consideration and feedback was pretty big for Guardian here. Guardian is a light RPG side scroller with some action and adventure elements into it. So we're going to just hit new game, jump right into it, and you get some feedback and kind of instruction almost immediately. So tap the screen to jump. That's actually to hit. So spacebar. This game was also designed and programmed for mobile, so the instructions were for both, to kind of show both. We do have voice acting.
Welcome all to the erstwhile annual LARP event. There will be no further delays. Even Greek gods are expected to be punctual. That's right. I'm looking at you, Arya.
So the idea of, or the storyline for the game is that you are an attendant to a LARP festival that gets pulled into an actual event that is involving the Greek gods and goddesses. So you are then thrust forth and sent on an adventure. Lots of fun that can happen with that. Lots of interesting things that you can do. So Arya is our main character's name.
Yes, I know Arcus isn't a god, but... Well, you're the one that chose a character with such a similar name to your own. Okay, this is ridiculous. I said no further delays.
It's real playful
All willing
banter.
participants converge on the battlefield, and best of luck.
Just some real playful banter. So you start similarly just in the tutorial level. You're provided, there are a couple different things you can do with our combat system. So you have a slide mechanic, which is used on keyboard with the control. Left click is our attack, and then space is our jump. You do have a double jump, so you can achieve higher distances, and then also you can combine the slide with the double jump to get some extra height. And combat's fairly simple. Kind of walk up, smack them. We do have a coin system that are used for progression, as the you can buy upgrades, doing more damage, increasing your health, those kind of things. So the tutorial level is fairly short and also introduces potions that are throughout the game. There are potions that help you and hurt you. This is a potion to heal, but I'm at max, so I can't get it. This one improves your agility and allows me to do more damage as well. You see that this enemy shoots arrows and has a targeting system, so they will track you at a certain distance and try to hit you. And I kind of just get in there and take them out. So enemies are in a track system, so they will not pursue you past a certain point. So you're kind of just avoiding as much as you can. And then if I get during the tutorial level, you don't take damage, but of course in the actual game you will. So now we're moving along here, and that's the end.
Oh, hey, don't mind me. Just on a coffee break. My life is a coffee break.
So narrative was always a big, strong point for Guardian from start to finish. We had a wonderful person within the studio who was lead narrative before Quain, who actually wrote all of Guardian and then was the kind of the starter for Coalescence and kind of helped write that process along, and was an active role in us getting to Coalescence. I'm sure Quain will say that was a big help for him in Coalescence, and she was a valuable asset for us. And luckily, we managed to keep her on as an extern after to help us with certain developments. But very talented writer, did lots of great work and helped put this game together.
Tons of warriors get knocked out during battle. Well, I wouldn't say you look fine necessarily. Such a meager poncho, and that stick for a sword. But at least you're awake. What is this about a costume? Yeah, it's this little town. Man, maybe your head is really messed up. I thought it was just shaped like that. No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
So
just playful banter. I'm gonna kind of move through that just to get a little bit of a longer scene, so that we can show the next
our
level.
heroine, now faced with the forest of Arcadia, graciously, confidently. No, okay, come on. You gotta give me something here. You look even less excited than I do. Fine. Be that way. Guess I don't. You're becoming a broken record, Bob. Look, you're part of the race of protectors, not me. What's weird, though, is I definitely thought they were extinct. Yeah, just...
So lots of fun here, and we get an interaction with our first big enemy, and then another enemy after that. You see, has a lot of health, takes a lot of damage. So first things you probably the slow plot reveal. Yes. So as you see through the combat system, our biggest highlights were the narrative. Where we struggled a lot in development was developing a strong combat system that was properly tested as well. This is an active bug that we found in after development, is that on slopes you don't always have access to your double jump, as it doesn't always recognize that. So we took a lot of feedback for the game and have been really paying a lot of attention to what went wrong, what went right, and how do we improve on that. Guardian had a great vision start, and some of the biggest struggles were something that Quain mentioned with being a student studio. Longer production games tend to suffer a bit from the incoming and outgoing of talent and those that work on the project and continuing that vision. So at times we may be having more bandwidth with lots of programmers who are able to get in and solve problems pretty quickly, and other times we're faced with where we may only have one or two programmers, and and that production gets slowed down a lot because we don't have as much to kind of fully tackle this problem. So similar things as were Coalescence, but as Guardian predates Coalescence, we learned a lot from this development in other games and kind of applied that to some of our other projects that were in development at the time. So lots of just moving through the level here. You want to kind of actively pay attention to that. Get as many as you can because you get these coins, and those are used to improve your system or your damage and whatnot. This guy here, these potions. So, upon release of Guardian, in that same vein, we did had a lot of play testing, and we got a lot of feedback back in regards to what was enjoyable, what wasn't enjoyable, and we really wanted to take that back and say we really cared about this project, and we really wanted to see what we do with it. How do we improve upon that? So we've actually been discussing pursuing some patches for the game to try to improve some areas that we knew needed a little extra love, and are looking to kind of improve upon those things as well. Let's see. Now, as you get towards the end, you're gonna get a prompt and sent on to the next level. This is an NPC that you get to interact with at a later point. And so the levels are naturally progressed as you move from stage 1 to stage 2. And yeah, that's Guardian. There are bosses that you eventually work your way to, and can get past and whatnot. So that's kind of, those are the big payoffs towards the end.
Very nice. Yeah, cool stuff. It's interesting that it's a little difficult to add good character advancement traits with this tool, but I mean, you've put some in. What do you feel there really is for character advancement besides more health, more money, a few better pieces of equipment in this game?
Yeah, so that was actually some of the big feedback that we got, is that if we wanted to include something like that, we really needed to have it fleshed out a little bit more. So that was an idea that we had with the potions, as the potions were meant to impact gameplay and kind of give you a little bit more diversity as you're working your way through. And that was something that was mentioned to us that had not as much impact as one would like as a player, right? So that's definitely an idea that we're going to go back to the drawing board with and kind of consider like revamping that system and changing them a bit. But we're also looking at possibly new weapons that to kind of continue to diversify those that combat and not give us a chance to have more available for the player. Sorry, a little distracted there, as you can see. So once the health gets low, you get sent. The save point is at the beginning of the level, so that's where you respawn. You don't get kicked back to the start of the whole game or anything like that. Just the beginning of the level.
So thanks for a lot of RPGs without big budgets will kind of cheat the whole character advancement by just changing the color of the weapon. Those pretty simple art changes, because characteristic changes can be a bit tricky to implement effectively. But
right.
What you added in here, certainly the voice and the writing add a good deal to the game, as do the Seussian trees, the Dr. Seuss style. Right. Someone commented that they look like the trees are the mushrooms from Mario. They continue to get their Mario vibe on this.
We had a very strong art department when we were actively working in Guardian. another highlight to the game. We had at the time, our lead artist was a very talented person who did all of the characters and the character sprites and attack animations, those kind of things. Wonderful stuff.
I really like the little, I don't know, is it a 4-frame walk cycle they did for this character? Can't tell if it's 2 or 4. It's very cute and very simple.
Right.
It works pretty well, partly with the sounds that's tied to it. Alright, last chance for any more questions in chat. What any neat lessons you learned of this engine? Anything you'd want other people to know?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I should have mentioned at the beginning. Guardian was made with Unity and GitHub as a repository for programming. A lot of things we learned were one of the similar things we learned on Coalescence again is that QA process. There needed to be a good amount of more testing involved. And something that we as students have really learned in the studio and has been kind of hammered home to us more recently is that you need to be actively testing your work as you're going along. And we have seen that not having that active testing can lead to issues later down the line that you don't necessarily have the bandwidth to fix anymore. So you kind of slap a band-aid on it or try to get it as much fixed as you can so that it can just function. Whereas you want to be able to correct those problems as soon as they pop up, or at least develop a plan to address them. So that was like our biggest thing, and probably the biggest learning curve that we have was test, test.
Excellent. Well, good praise in YouTube. Jesse James Allen with Insomniac says looks pretty solid so far. Echiminia says he's real. Hope to meet you guys. I'll be able to come out. This team won't be in Atlanta, but we will be. So come on out. We're showing this stream now since this team won't be able to make the feeds on Sunday. But yeah, great look at it. Much appreciated. Anyone in there want to comment on the look, etc.? You'll get a chance to vote on them this weekend. We'll be running this stream at Siege for people to see. All right. Thank you very much to the teams like Guardian and Coalescence. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to bring up Metacell, another of our Silv-E nominees. All right. And Team Guardian. Wait a minute. What's the name of your studio one more time?
Both Coalescence and Guardian were created by Celic Games and Black Banshee Studios.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much. We'll be back with Metacell. And we are back. We have another fun game here. Hey, you're getting to see the option screen. That's always my most exciting screen.
Yeah.
Whoops, it did not transition. Why didn't it transition? Hey, transition effectively, OBS. Come on.
Doop, 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 doop.
There we go. Give me 1 second. OBS is being a little finicky for some reason.
It's all right. It's me.
All right. Let's see. All right. Looks like we got it. Let me know in chat if you can see here, etc., etc. And go ahead and take away Metacell Arcade, Metacell Genesis Arcade. Sorry.
Yeah. What's up, guys? I'm Posey from Products for Robots Studio. This was made by me and two of my other buddies. We wrote our own engine and pretty much did everything from scratch with this. All original music, sound effects, all the jazz. And this is just a match 3 shooter. It's like an homage to the games that I grew up playing. Bubble Bobble, Gradius, the whole slew. The music is done by our buddy's band called Space Vikings. If you guys like space metal, definitely check it out. But as you're playing, the game board, the cell starts generating game pieces, which you will need to either dodge the traps that you just saw and match to beat it back. It's written to where the game ends technically at level 100. Once you beat level 99, kind of a throwback to the old arcade games. And it's just a fun score tech game with pickups like that one right there, the catalytic. Let's see. Got some score multipliers. The fun piece that changes your piece to what your reticle's on. That guy. Sorry, my ship speed is too slow. There we go. We also wrote in some pretty cool drifts, so once you get into the groove, you can really just like find your vein. Got some more traps to pop up. There we go. See, the traps will take a life out of you. Some other fun stuff we got is a bomb, where if the board gets too overpowered, kind of nuke it.
Still getting some good comments about the look of this game. I like the traps. You're going to be showing this off Sunday at Siege, right?
Yep, that I shall.
We get a contest going there?
Oh, what was that?
Can we get a contest going for it?
Sure. Sounds fun. We had a high score competition during early access last year. We got some really good players. Fiery Runner and J-Mage were battling towards the end. Both got 3.9 million points.
Wow.
I think it was like a 100-point difference between them.
At 3.9 million points, there's a 100-point difference between them.
Yep, and that's when I was designing the game, I did a lot of the math to try to work out to where perfect game is 4.2 million. So they got almost perfect. The best part about this too is we found some neat ways to get some real random generations with our cells. So every game is always the same, or not the same, always different. Sorry,
But still, the perfect score is 4,200,000, huh? Yeah, that is the answer.
Yep. You guys can get it. I haven't even been able to get past 2 million. I think I'm stuck at 1.8 mil. Try to fight this back.
I really want a more funky backbeat to this. I figured you'd have some more crazy music for this.
We are working on a new mode called Puzzle, which is a reductive game in a number of pieces. It's going to have kind of more of like a ambient, spacey feel. We were going for the metal to really have everything give you this intense fight scene with this little puzzle shooter. We also got some cool mechanics where you can start orphaning off the game pieces. Little throwbacks to the Mortal Kombat days, when you can unlock certain things. Little people popping out of the corner.
I was a big fan of the trap. I enjoyed that when it popped up. Seemed
Yeah,
to come out.
The higher the level, the more frequently the traps will pop out, and their difficulty will increase through different stages. So there's multiple tiers of play.
Yeah, it's funny. I almost want a two-player game with this, so we can interfere with each other, going around, one going for one color, the other going for the other, something like that. But that's way too much of a pain to try and implement.
It's on the DLC schedule.
Excellent.
Mode, and then we're working on some ways that we can migrate this to mobile that won't damage the actual game. Let's see there. So once you clear the whole pieces from the core using your bombs, you can really save your life.
So what's been the reaction on Steam?
What was that?
What's been the reaction on Steam?
Really good reviews. A lot of people digging it. And the best part is when people start asking for features and advancements, that knows that it really lets you know that you kind of hit like a vibe with people. But yeah, it's been super good. We even got a fan favorite award during the World Game Developers World Competition, GDWC. I don't know, it's a European comp.
Excellent. Yeah, you've been out for a month and a half now, so a little bit of time for feedback.
Yeah, give us all the feedback. And we did write this engine from scratch, so if it breaks, 100% let us know so that we can get eyes on it. But so far, all the issues that we've gotten have been fixed. Always something good to hear. This is actually one of my favorite tracks in the game.
Alright, yeah, very nice. Very nice. I'm glad it's so we'll talk a little bit about the development process and the tools you used.
Let's see, we use Visual Studio to write the engine, so it's all in C++. The sound effects and everything, we just use the Adobe Creative Suite. You can pretty much get all of your art, design, video, music production, everything in there. for your game just with one license. So I definitely suggest that on an indie budget. We used Tortoise SDN for our repo.
That takes me back. The other teams were using GitHub earlier.
Yeah, we're using GitHub on our new project. It's just when you're working with a small team, you tend to use the tools that your team members are very familiar with.
Great lesson for any indie dev.
Yes, that is probably the lesson number one for going into development is if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We got Hiccup Interactive saying great design and UI. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this. I should have grabbed it on Steam already.
I'll send you a key. I'll do that right after this.
Well, do you want to give away a key?
All I care about is people playing it, man.
All right. I tell you what, everyone in chat. Let's see. I've already got. I tell you what, the first person who types into chat what a perfect score in Metacell Genesis Arcade is wins a key from the developer. What is a perfect score? Hey, Jesse James Allen, who is the audio man himself, says that the music is legit. And Wine in Technicolor on Twitter, not on Twitter, on Twitch TV was the first one to say 42 million. I'm sorry, 4,200,000. Wait, did you say 42 million? You got it right. 4,200,000. All right. So, wait, you were our last presenter. All right, there you go, John. You're gonna have to give Posey. You're gonna have to give a key to one of your competitors.
That's fine by me.
So yeah, give me send me a key and I will get it to Quayne.
Got it.
And I'll introduce you two on Discord after this because you were both in the general chat earlier. And let you take care of it directly. All right. Well, we are getting towards 7 o'clock, so that has been going to look at 3 of the many Silv-E Award nominees. You get to see the rest Sunday at Siege. Looking forward to showing them all off. This video will stay up online, so you can come back and check it out and decide who you're going to vote for. We'll be sharing the voting link out. Hey, those of you in the chat, go ahead and give us your vote right now for which one you think should win Best Student Game. Don't include this one. Don't include Genesis. Only between Guardian and Coalescence. Which one do you think should win Best Student Game? And with that, I am going to pause us for a minute while I get Emperor of the Fading Suns ready. Because that launched, the Emperor of the Fading Suns Enhanced. The 25-year anniversary patch launched today. Very few games are going to 25-year anniversary patch. All right, not going to wait here and see Posey get 4,200,000. He's got 140,000, so here we go. Yep, that screech was the opening for Emperor of the Fading Suns. Let's slip over. And let's take a look at it. Maybe. Get the video going.
For half a millennium, humanity has
there
lived
we
among
go.
the stars in darkness.
All right.
Humans
votes
reached
for
the stars long
Coalescence.
ago, building a
Alrighty.
republic of high technology and
If one of them is a
universal
Silv-E judge,
emancipation.
that's a good bet.
Then they fought.
All right, yeah, 2 good projects, or 3 good projects.
Finally lost
Nice
it.
stuff coming out this year.
Now a new dark age is
So I
descending.
debated entering Emperor of the Fading Suns Enhanced into the
Greatest of
Silv-E Awards, but
civilizations has fallen.
that is for new games, not games that came out 25 years ago.
The ruins of
The
many
Enhanced is essentially
stars.
a 25th anniversary patch. All right, keep looking over to my left because that's where the chat is.
Then from the ashes of our ruin, Vladimir halted our
Oop, hey, what happened to my video? So this video was some cutting-edge 3D graphics back in 1995 when we first developed the graphics for this. So yeah, this was some stunning cathedral renderings as we land spaceships on into the game. All right, so we launched this as Emperor of the Fading Suns Enhanced because in doing our 1.5 patch, 25-year anniversary patch, we just had so many changes. I mean, Visual Studio was released the year this game came out. We had to transition over to new development areas, and so forth. And just to make this game work on modern machines was a bear in itself. We still had hundreds upon hundreds of other changes. So it's hard to call it a patch because we can't really patch the old game with what we did for this. You have to get the entirely new enhanced version of the game in order to play it. What's happening on GOG, where we've released this, is that hello, Thorsten Frank. What we've done with the release is people get access both to the classic version of the game with the 1.4 patch and this new enhanced version. Can you believe that these were some awesome 3D human models for that era? It was a while ago, I have to admit. So I've got a save game I've been doing as I've been streaming the development of it. If folks would like me to continue that, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and start a whole new game. And we'll see who we get to be this time to go ahead and conquer the Emperor. Oh, wait, this guy's Emperor. How am I going to become Emperor if this guy's Emperor? Oh my goodness, poor Vladimir. Guess this happens to guys named Vlad far too often. Oh, Thorsten Frank, can't wait to get my hands on 1.5. Glad to hear it. Yep, up on GOG now. All right, we'll see a quick space battle, and then we'll get into playing the game. Vote in chat if you'd like me to continue the save game I've been doing in the during the playtest live streams, or if you'd like me to start a whole new game and show you how this thing works and talk about the development. A lot of lessons learned since this game first came out. The game came out in 97. We started work on it in 95. But yeah, some of the lessons that John and others were talking about. Go with the tools you know. Of course, we didn't have the option to do this in Unreal or Unity. Neither of those existed back then. So yes, this was done in our own proprietary engines. And with the 1.5 patch, we allow a lot more modding. You can change almost anything. I mean, obviously, you can turn these videos on and off, but anything about the units, the technologies, how the game works, pretty significant. Uh-oh, beating up on that poor cruiser back there. Maybe it'll get away before someone else can shoot it. Uh-oh, Mason cannon. And there goes Vladimir's starship with its powerful gargoyles. All right, Thorsten Franks, I played both the original back then. And the tabletop. All right, excellent. All right, so let's jump on into the game. Woohoo! You get to hear our incredible EFS music. Let me hear how it sounds. All right, is that too quiet? Is that just right? As I like to run my voice, I don't want to be too loud for myself. All right, we'll go ahead and start up a new game. Currently, I'm being Lazarus of the Hazat. Let's start a new one so you can see the whole thing. We'll go ahead. Oh yeah, we've got some custom maps. Like talked about before. Dark Ages Galaxy and the Lost Worlds Galaxy. Sorry, you see some that I've been playing around with. They shouldn't be in there. I need to get rid of those. But it ships with some with Dark Ages and Lost Worlds. So you've got new galaxies that you can play on. We'll go ahead and do historical. And let's see. Did the Lihalan recently in a game. Let's go ahead and be the Al-Malik. House Al-Malik. That's a fun one. Everyone loves the Ducados. All right, you vote in chat. You don't know anything about them. Ducados or Al-Malik. So one of the fun things about this game is while in this release version, you have to have a human player. I've got it set up so you can run 5 AI against each other to test things out. And in fact, you can turn that on using our .dat and .ini files that ship with the game. There's a lot of modding you can do with this game. You've got all these .dat and .ini files that you can change all the little variables you want to. And it's going to make a lot more people modders at no time at all. I showed some of the modding tools in a previous live stream. So you can find that on the Georgia Game Devs channel. All right, I think we'll go ahead and go with House Al-Malik. Who shall we be from House Al-Malik? I won the game not too long ago. I'm going to turn off tutorials. That's something you'll want to have on when you first play the game. Play at different difficulty levels. We'll go to medium, but I'll keep the AI on beginner level. You can turn on and off the plague. Yay, the plague. Rebellion. Combat reports. The universal warehouse. That's a neat thing. Where you need resources to build things. The universal warehouse on, I can use items I make on the planet Istakar or on the planet Criticorum. But with it off, you actually have to ship your resources there. And somebody was commenting in the chat recently, they enjoyed being pirate nobles, raiding other players' resources they shipped around the galaxy. That's how it's done. Oh my goodness. Brooke's on a roll. Brooke, I hope we're going to see you out there Sunday. I wish you had some new games to show off for the Silvies. But you'll get to come out there and play. Let me know, Brooke, if you want to be a judge for the Silv-E Awards. All right, Jesse James Allen voted Al-Malik, so we will be Al-Malik. Jesse James, I hope you're enjoying the music. Go ahead and play as Al-Malik. I won the game with Usura last time. Let's do that again. Please, good luck. I get to choose all of these various positive and negative traits: despotism, inbreeding, insanity, inept military training, tyranny, spendthrift, anti-trade, decadence, disdain trade, enemy in the church, enemy in the league. Yeah, that might be a little problematic if I went with all these. So maybe I shan't turn on all the negatives, but let's at least get an enemy in the church. That's kind of traditional for the Al-Malik. Administration, I get more money. Friend in the league. Maybe the league will vote for me. I've been playing with Battle Master a lot. That forces me to risk my my nobles in battle. So we're going to pretend the Al-Malik are great warriors. But yeah, all these different traits. You play as the head of a house, but these traits are the ones that affect not just you, but your entire house, because your house is doing all the work while you're ordering everybody around. All right, you begin with research. We're going to jump on microbiology, physics, psychosocial engineering. Microbiology starts with really nice things: hospitals, pharmaceuticals, genetics, and ends with plague bombs and nasty things like that, and chemically altered soldiers and so on. Physics are your basic weapons and the like. Game Dev Brooks says I should have started with inbreeding on. Do you mean for the game or just real life? No, obviously just for the game. Music is nice and dramatic as it should be. Thank you, Jesse James Allen. Brooke won't be a judge because the power would go to her head. All right. Let's go ahead and go with physics. Research tech. That gets us all the main weapons we really want to do. Oh, the new patriarch is Orthodox. One of the big changes we did for this game is really made the religious aspects of the game more significant. So we have a cathedral, or church, right here. And we can change our sect allegiance. Right now, we're Orthodox like the patriarch. But if we wanted to, we could go to the Almatheans, which are known for their healing and good works among the peasantry. The Eschatonics, which are the more mystic freakish. The Incarnates, who are horrible heretics. Vestites, who are the fanatic fundamentalists. The Brother Battle Warrior Order. And the Hesychast Mendicant Monks, which is just freakish, weird theology. So in the Fading Suns universe, humanity reached the stars, created the perfect society, and messed it all up. And now you're back trying to build it up again, while other folks trying to tear it back down. Emperor of the Fading Suns, you take the role of the lead of one of the houses, in this case Prince Usara, yes, female, but prince is a generic term, male or female, just like actor is a generic term for male or female actors, or anyone else who acts. So in this, Prince Usara is trying to enforce her control over House Al-Malik. You can see that we don't know much of what's on her own planet. And then reach out to become emperor, or empress in this case. And she may very well change her sect along the way, her religious sect. Yes, this game has a lot of sect issues and violence. So for now, we'll stay Orthodox. I don't know, we'll change it. That's fun, because that can cause rebellions and all sorts of crazy things as you change everyone's religious affiliations. Let's go a Vestite right off the bat. That's fundamental. These are the fundamentals, and we'll change it again later and really cause havoc across the world. All right. So as the Dark Ages started in the year 4000 and spread, as you can see, it's now the year 4956, almost a whole millennium since the new Dark Ages began. We've lost information about most of the world. I mean, we know what it looks like, but we don't know what's going on there. We know that there are cities here, but not what's happening in those cities. And really, they're being run by rebels. In this case, probably Al-Malik traitors to my great Prince Usara. So I need to bring them to heal quickly. Quickly. So I've got this one big space cruiser. I can click on these, get information about the ships. These are actually Eschatonics up in space. Great. I've just gone to the fundamentalists who hate the Eschatonics. Wonderful. As Eschatonics, the people running my ship are Eschatonics, even though on the planet below, most of them were Orthodox. As Eschatonics, they had better armor and psi defense. Yes, psi attacks are a thing. They can spot better and they're more agile. But we'll see what negative effects that might have when I start loading it up with a whole Vestite fleet. Yeah, you can see my cruiser again. Top quality 3D graphics for 1995. I got a frigate. Check out that beautiful frigate. Oh, that's crewed by Incarnates, the heretics. Lovely. And all my Thanes on my assault landers. I've got a whole messed up fleet here, which is actually very perfect for the Fading Suns universe, where religious schisms are a major part of the setting. That's pretty funny how my ships are going to start shooting each other if I'm not careful. Great, and I just made the house itself. The fundamentalists. Great, let's start shooting things. All right, my cruiser can bombard from space. Maybe there's a big beam weapon and can shoot down from space. I like to joke that really you could throw a heat-resistant brick down from space and do damage. Of course, there might be some issues with aiming. So we've got this farm controlled by rebels. So we are going to make them do our bidding. Let's attack the planet. Attack. Choose a hex to bombard. We'll bombard this hex because we want to take these 3 cities. Kabang! Lots of violence. Oh, didn't do anything. A little bit to that artillery. You see these green lines? That's their health. And I took up a little bit of that. Let's do it again. Maybe I can kill it all this time. Oh, man. I'm going to fire my Eschatonic ship captain. That's useless. One more time. Didn't even kill it. All right, this farm's going to be difficult to take. Now, even the other planets, I don't know anything about. I know about Istakar, my homeworld. We lost our map to this planet long ago. I'm going to send a ship there or buy the information from another party. So let's get our little frigates flying around to explore the universe. Go to Alon. Alon. Yay. And, so Stigmata's a funky world. See all the space lanes coming into it? You go through jump gates to travel between worlds. This is the planet that blocks off all these alien infestations called the symbiotes. And if this planet falls, all the symbiotes come rushing through. And that's not good. So let's send a frigate over here to see what's going on. All right, this is Byzantium Secundus. Here, you can see the entire world map when I right-click on it. So over here is the Imperial Center, where there's all sorts of production going on. This basically turned into a whole world of metal at the height of the Second Republic, the height of human knowledge and learning. Now it's slowly sinking beneath the waves as the suns begin to fade. But here's the Imperial Palace. This is where I want to eventually inhabit. Right now I'm in my embassy, this fort over here. So this would be Usara's diplomat on Byzantium Secundus. So I've got a freighter here, and I got some good power legions. I'm going to board up power legions so I can show you how space transport works. All right, loading some troops up into the freighter. Shoot my freighter into space. Kabam! And start heading via Criticorum to Istakar so they can reinforce. Oh, I'm taking the northern route. All right. And everyone else can just go on sentry duty and sleep. Oh, I told you about the technologies we were researching. I should have showed you this part of it. We're researching physics. If we want to see what different things do, we can click in here. Here's a lot of the technologies we'll research through the game. So for instance, if I clicked on advanced physics, I would get some religious teachings about them. And now to the crux of my dialogues. Where precisely does one differentiate between humankind, gainfully putting the pancreated works to good use, as holy Zebulon himself ordained, and warlocks perverting those self-same components to all manner of fiendish ends? When does the invisible hand that raises nourishing queege fungi from the Salathian fields, or carries some messenger kites aloft through the heavens, become the monstrous talons that scatters demon seeds of plague amid the groaning worlds, or dashes temples asunder with radioactive hellfire? We are currently researching this technology. Yep, all sorts of fun with that. Hey, Leonardo, thanks for joining. Emperor of the Fading Suns Enhanced. Yes, this is the enhanced version of the game. So we do indeed have more units up in space. Oop. What did I do? Oh no, I shot all my... I might be a little asleep. I just sent all my transport ships to Stigmata. If the symbiotes get them, I'm in trouble. I was going to use them to do quick assaults around my planet. Looks like I might have to forgo that. Dear. That was foolish of me. Alright, well, you can do all sorts of trading. You need all these different resources. This is the Merchant League. Remember, I got a friend in the league. I can buy different things. I can buy food, energy, metals, trace materials, trace minerals, exoticas, chemicals, biochems, electronics, ceram, steel, wetware, monopoles, gems, and singularities. They're a little pricey, those singularities. I can also sell them. I've got a sell price and a buy price. And early in the game, one of the best things to buy is metal. So I'll purchase some metal from them. Went straight on into my fort, you can see. And I can use that to build things. I got a factory over here. You can start building self-propelled artillery. Yay! If I had electronics, which I could also buy from the League, I build strategic bombers, dive bombers, atmosphere fighters. And this list of things you can build really grows as you do your technology. Right now, we almost get to have nothing. Medium tanks, tank killers, engineers, artillery, anti-aircraft. But wow, the stuff you get later in the game is crazy compared to this. Thorsten Frank says, one thing I've always wanted was playing as Voldrak, Kurgan Caliphate, the Vow, or Minor House. Rising to prominence. Guess what? With the AFS Enhanced, you can create those exact mods. In fact, the Lost Worlds mod, or the Lost Worlds map I showed at the beginning of this stream, shows a number of the Lost Worlds we talked about in the Fading Suns books. Yeah, a lot of interest in the Voldrak and Kurgan Caliphate versions as well. So you can make those yourself, or play them when someone else makes them. Alright. So over here, we'll build another medium tank. You never have too many medium tanks. Yes, you got to research the heavy tank. Then you see the resource they take. It takes 40 metal. That's why we're buying some of that metal. Yes, we have done that. Down here, we see we've got a fertile place. That's a sign that means that there's good food. You see fertile. This farm is taking care of that, but there's no farm down there. Looks like we should probably be mining up there. Got an arboreum here to farm the rivers. But clearly we need a lot more resources to do cool things. So, really regretting that I shot away those... shot away my spaceships accidentally. Let's get all these folks heading up. We got a rebel place there, so we're going to have them marching. Maybe they'll march over there and take it. I'll get other units marching around. I know I don't need... One of the things I haven't played it before, I know I don't need this many troops hiding out in these places right now. So I'll need them later in the game when the other players are attacking my planet. Right now I can strip the troops from them. Just leave somebody there to scout. See, I can sentry him and he'll scout if somebody shows up. And have everyone else start marching around. Yeah, lots of good units around that I can take into battles. I tell you what, I'm going to end my turn so I can get my ships back, because I can't do anything with them next time. I'm going to have to go a couple turns before I can really do anything with it. You get the warning, not all your units moved. Yay! Uh-oh, he's moving around troops. The rebels are moving troops there. Alright, research of physics has been completed. Got energy physics. Let's say what they say about energy physics. Oops, hold on. Go to the archive. The light is, of course, unknown and unknowable, and even as one who stares into the heart of a sun succeeds only in blasting his sight into eternal shadow, so those souls of pure intent, who seek to transcend the preordained limits of enlightened cognition, may instead find themselves overwhelmed by the darkness beyond all. Surely those who seek to chain the light into the sophistry of shape, theologically refracting it into such finite embodiments as particles and waves, gamma rays and radio waves, commit the same fatal error. For in categorizing that which is immanent, one succeeds only in affirming, however inadvertently, the false divinity of the all-encompassing shadow. My most learned colleague, Brother Hargavain, often disputes with me on this point, averring that just as souls are myriad manifestations of the omnipotent light within, so can the light itself manifest in an unending array of avatars, becoming simultaneously creator and created, finite and internal. I need not dwell overlong on the similarities between the good brother's postulations and the expurgated Voronok's heresy of the multiplicity, sent to the shadows of its origin in 4843 by the efforts of our most holy Inquisition. We can research this technology. Yes, there is an Inquisition in this game. I bet you didn't expect that. Hey EBM, I'm hoping we'll see lots of folks building their own mods and galaxies now that 1.5 is out. I'm hoping the same. As long as they stay true to the Pan Creator's view and don't fall into heresy. Alright, let's research energy physics. Yes, energy physics. Can't believe I shot my entire fleet the wrong direction to the most dangerous planet you have. Alright, let's send all of you back to Istakar, please. Does give me more time, though, to shoot with my cruiser. Alright, so Alon, I'm going to send you over to Criticorum to meet up with that... yeah, the freighter was going. Alright, let's shoot that farm some more. Attack our nice, peaceful farmers. We've got tons of artillery. Whoa! Check it out. The rebels fled. I wonder where they went. They're consolidating their forces against me. That's not good. Ooh, they've got a noble. That's the evil varmints. Wow. They're moving all their forces against me. That's not good. I'm scared. Alright, let's continue moving our freighter from Byzantium Secundus with a couple power legions. The Inquisition is always watching, says EBM. Exactly. We can get these troops moving. Whoa, rebels! We've encountered rebel scum. They are coming after me. They're aggressive this game. I get for going on medium, but let's attack. What do you say, everybody? We have got 8 units. So let's take a look at our forces. We've got some incarnate infantry, 4 incarnate infantry, 2 incarnate militia. Yep, 2 incarnate militia. All my troops are incarnates. All right, so I got a massive incarnate force of infantry, militia, and anti-tank guns and artillery. So let's group this whole group, and we're going to go after the rebels. Normal, assault, or feint. They've got an artillery that's going to do me some damage, but I want to kill them before that artillery gets to shoot me too many times. So we're going to assault! Oh, Malik, ho! Oh no, they've got hidden units I didn't see. Wow, I'm in trouble. That was a bad move to assault. They have some tough units there. And I ran away. I did a brave Sir Robin and ran away. That was the wrong time to assault. They had all kinds of good guns hidden away. I messed up there. Ran back to that farm. They're going to be dead pretty quickly. Not good. Should get some reinforcements heading over that way. I'll send 1 medium tank and an officer. What do you say? They can reach the farm. Almost. Let's send a medium tank to the farm. Great. I'm sending a tank against an anti-tank gun. We'll send along the officer right after. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Have that one sit there in case the rebel scum come to me. And I'm going to set most of the other units still in there. Oh, I didn't show you the engineer. I got a lovely engineer. Let's sit these troops here. I'll get my spaceships. Got a nice little palace port. And there's my engineer. That's what I should have done last turn. Get my engineer on it. I should have moved it up there to build a bridge. But I'm going to build it down here to build a farm. Because I need to get more resources going to sell to the League. So I will... If I build a farm here, it can harvest that fertile area as well as all that river. So I'll move him along. Build a road here. You can hear his road building skills in fine use. That's some bit of sound effects we've been using since the early 90s with our Machiavelli the Prince and Merchant Prince games. And I'm going to go ahead and build a engineer in the church. Those of you who are fans of Fading Suns, the board game, that'd probably be a preceptor. Yes, when the strategy game ended is when the first and second editions of the role-playing game picked up. We are now in the 4th edition of the role-playing game, and that is set a generation after this. Those sneaky rebels were ready. They were EBM. They were definitely ready. Hey, let me go ahead and share in chat the where you can get this game. In fact, you can not only get EFS Enhanced, but if you buy it, you also get the classic version of the game. So you can check it out there. And I did build a new... Did I start building that engineer here? Yes, I started building that. And you see it takes 100 metal and 100 food, and it takes 4 turns. So we're going to have a little bit of time before it comes out. So let's keep playing. Let's end our turn and get those spaceships to start doing my dirty work, because we've got a rebel army on the move against us. Oh, he retreated. I expected to lose those last units. We got that medium tank we build a self-propelled artillery to follow it up. Build. Yes. Ah, the symbiotes are on the move. They captured a city on absolution. Gotta love that old art. All right, freighter to Istakar. Gotta use our ships intelligently. Hey, I can explore the Lihalan homeworld. That's Kish. That's purple. That's one of the other major groups. All right. So we've got 2 kind of spaceships. We got landers that can land anywhere, and freighters that really want to land in buildings. Or in cities. Let's go up and grab one of the landers. And let's drop it into... Where do I want to drop it? Into the fort? Yeah, let's drop it in the fort. We can load an anti-tank gun and an artillery on it. Shoot it back up into space. Launch. back down, and we got to start exploring what the rebels are doing out here. So we can land even in the mountains. Yes, we'll unload. Now those units can move, so we're going to move them right into the fort, or into the farm. Whoa! And it's occupied! I'm in trouble. Let's see if I can lose my units. Yep, there's still... Hey! My guys did a good job in this fight. Let's see, were they experienced? Nope. They were just fortunate. Nice. I didn't expect to win that. All right. So now that farm is mine. You see it's changed color. It's no longer controlled by the rebel scum. And, did I fire my cruiser this turn? No. Guess they ran out and came back in when I was bombarding the planet. Smart folk. Let's go ahead and land my big bulk hauler. This is my bulk hauler. Carries lots of stuff. I'm going to drop it right into the fort. I'm going to move one of my nobles onto it. We'll consider this Yusara herself ready to lead the charge. And she is going to get into the bulk hauler. Though, the nicer quarters in the bulk hauler, mind you. Get a medium tank. Let's get a couple of my smiters. Wolfen is the medium tank. Shoot that up into space and land it in my new brand spanking new farm. Yay! Let's do a little bit of exploring with my medium tank to see where those... Hey, gems. I definitely want that. Well, I guess they ran back in. That's crazy. My cruiser last turn just missed everything, but this turn they ran back in. So let's go ahead and... Whoa, they all came here. That's a lot of rebels. I'm shooting it and not doing much damage. That's going to be a tough nut to crack. And another lander picking up folks in the fort again. We've got a new medium tank. Put a couple medium tanks in my lander. I really need these troops to get experience quickly. Fly these up. Fly me to the Istakar moon. And drop them right here. Bring up this force. Beep, 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 beep. But that's really... I'm not comfortable sending those troops against them. And they got a noble in there as well, who gives them bonuses. All right, Jesse James Allen. Cool to see you play this. Lots of insights on how to play. Yeah, but I'm not doing that well right now. Definitely getting a little bit handed to me. Got other live streams where I've done better. My own game is beating me up right now. So, let's see what time we're at. We're at 7:30. We're not going to play a full 10 turns to get to the vote for regent, because that's a really cool part of this. I haven't even touched on fun things like diplomacy. I should be making alliances. Hey, Lucinda, why don't you give me an alliance with you, and I'll give you a technology. I don't have any technologies you want. I'll give you a planet map. Got a little map of Byzantium Secundus, and I'll appreciate it. Probably won't get an alliance out of that, but we'll give it a try. Maybe House Hawkwood will give me some technology. Hey, Cedric! You got lots. You already have physics. Everybody's got physics. Maybe the Ducatos don't. Maybe I can make an alliance. Oh, look at that handsome fellow. Nikolai, Prince Nikolai of House Ducatos. Yeah, let me have your psychosocial engineering. And I'll... Oh, they already have my physics too. Shoot, I don't have anything to give them either. Oh, well. I don't have much to give them for diplomacy right now, but then you get into the really the key aspects of this later. For instance, give me your votes at the next election, okay, and I'll give you an alliance, and I'll give you a ministry if I'm elected, the Stigmata Garrison, that gives them control of all those troops on Stigmata. I'll give you money, 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 money. But what you can also do is the or. Give me all your votes in the next election, or I'll declare war on you. I'll ask the Patriarch to excommunicate you. I'll unleash the plague, only if I have plague bombs. And neutralize our alliance. We don't have an alliance yet. EBM says, getting your butt kicked by your own game is a plus in my book. Yep, me either. Yep. Well, it is beating me about like a redheaded Al-Malik. All right, so we won't do any, but it shows you some of the various. This shows you your peace, your very strength. If you have an alliance, you can see how their finances are doing. Oh, we can get some money from the Vow. Well, look at those freakish aliens. The Vow have no use for your technology. However, we'll give Firebirds in exchange for map information. Are you interested? Yes. I'm going to be a traitor to humanity and give them map information for Byzantium Secundus. This information about my house, Asal Malik, how much I'm making in taxes. I can skim the tithe. I collect the tithe for the Universal Church on my planet. Everyone's supposed to give 10% or more. And I can take a little bit of that for myself if I so desire. Thurston, Frank, I just remember that I never managed to befriend the Vow. Yeah, the Vow are something we're still looking at ways to improve. We've improved them a little bit for this version. Still not the full impact we want them to have. But anyway, so I'm skimming some tithe. You've increased the tithe skim. Can reduce my loyalty. Yes, let's do it. Ooh, people don't seem to like that. All right, let's do a fight here. I'm not going to play that much longer, but let's at least get a fight here. Maybe I won't die in this attack. All right, it's Usara's baby sister who's leading this attack. Prince Yezamina. So, no, I'm sorry, Duchess Yezamina. Let's say it's Duchess Yezamina leading this attack. We can do this one normal, none of that funky assault stuff. Holy cow, there's a lot of stuff in there. Oh, Yezamina died. Look at that skull and crossbones on poor Yezamina. But she took the mine. Valiant sacrifice will not be forgotten. Units heal better if you leave them in a building, so I'm going to leave that unit here, and the rest are going to march on to the next farm over there. Which is probably still empty, because I think all of its troops were in there for a big army. They killed Duchess Yezamina. Poor Duchess Yezamina. Alright, so you've seen... Yeah, you can send messages to other players. You are going down.
Message sent.
Yes, there's a big multiplayer facet to this game as well. Alright. We've done a little over a half hour, going on 45 minutes of playing EFS Enhanced. Been a long stream for me. I'm going on 2 hours. So, yeah, gave her life to secure the gems. You're right, EBM. If there's anything else specific people want to see, let me know. Again, it is now available on GOG. I love the fact that you can get either version, the Enhanced or the Classic, and get them both, in fact. And we'll continue doing interesting things with this. We're definitely supporting the mod community. There's a great online group of modders for this game who've made great additions already, Hyperion, Nova, and more. So we're looking forward to more great mods out of this. Byzantium Secundus. When I become regent, I can assign people to various imperial offices, gives them the fleet, all the... Yeah, let's find the imperial fleet. That's some of the imperial fleet. Yeah, look at all those lovely ships, including a dreadnought. Cadiz dreadnought. Look at that big ship. That's the oh, elite Cadiz dreadnought. That's what I want. Yum yum. Yum yum yum. They also have a fleet over Byzantium Center with another dreadnought. But if you were the Stigmata garrison, they've got a lot of troops here on this planet. You can lift off to do all sorts of cool things. You have access to all the resources on this planet. But if you strip it, well, maybe the symbiotes get through and kill more people. And the Imperial Eye I mentioned as well. There is on Byzantium Secundus. The Imperial Eye is the main spy agency for the Regent. So they control this part of Byzantium Secundus. But more importantly, they have these cool forts on everybody's homeworld right there. I haven't explored it yet. Let's go take a look at it. Let's send an infantry up to see what's in there. And I won't see everything because infantry don't have the best spotting ability. So I only see this. I see there's a lander, a couple of planet-to-space missile launchers, elite infantry, flaks, anti-tank gun artillery. I know there's more stuff in it. For instance, any veteran player knows there are spies in the Imperial Eye. forts that you can't see, and they can do nasty things. They can assassinate nobles and all kinds of funky stuff. So, but if I get elected, or if I get appointed head of the Imperial Eye, I control all of the troops in all these forts. And that's a great way to start messing with the other players. So it's a the Stigmata Garrison is kind of the most obvious way office to take, because you just get a lot of troops. And you lift them up, you attack some other planets with them, and you take over those planets. The Navy, Imperial Fleet requires a little more finesse. You don't have the ground forces, but you definitely have control of the space lanes if you want it. So it depends how you want to use it. Just bombard enemy planets or raid their shipping or whatever. You can blockade very effectively. If you're playing the game with the Universal Warehouse off, the fleet's a great tool. If you play the Eye, you can be really tricky and do all sorts of neat stuff. But all the other players suspect that you're going to be really devious. All right, yeah, you hear my coughing. My voice is starting to go, and I got a lot of streaming to do this weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here. That is a quick look at Emperor of the Fading Suns Enhanced, released today, 9 o'clock this morning on GOG. Check it out. Join us for Siege this weekend. Lots of great stuff happening. For those of you who aren't using the GGDA channels, I will share the link for the Siege schedule. One moment. Because a lot of good sessions on game development will be streamed here. I hope everybody enjoyed looking at Coalescence. I saw a couple of votes for Coalescence for Best Student Game. Guardian as well was fun. And of course, you get to check out Metacell Genesis at Siege on Sunday. All right, EBM says thanks for the stream. You're quite welcome. Thanks everyone for joining. Thurston Frank, glad you could join. Absolutely. And this will be up as a VOD for a while, so check it out. Send your friends to it, and I'm looking forward to some multiplayer games of Emperor of the Fading Suns. Take care, everybody. Great playing today.